Are we just tricking you? And Yeshua's big victory on the cross was that you could have that bacon on your plate and a ham sandwich? Well, let's take a look. In Mark chapter 7, it says the Pharisees came to Yeshua and they saw some of the disciples eating with defiled, unwashed hands. Now, that's from the Talmud, not the Torah. You won't even find that law in there. There's only a rule one time for like the priests, but this isn't what this is talking about. Because the Pharisees and the Jews don't eat unless they wash their hands in a special way, holding the tradition of the elders. Not commandments of God. It was a tradition of the elders. And so when they came back from the marketplace, they thought that perhaps their hands would be defiled and then they would defile the food. Now, food was defined in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. Just remember that. And then the Pharisee says, why do your disciples not walk according to the tradition of the elders? Okay, well, let's look at what Yeshua says. This is the same story in Matthew 15, and Yeshua says, why do you transgress the commandment of God because of your tradition? So he says, they say, why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? Right? Because they don't eat with washed hands. That was a tradition of man, not a rule from the Bible. And Yeshua says, why do you set aside the commandment of God? Yeshua then goes on to explain that all these bad things up here, like adultery and murder and fornications, those things defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands doesn't defile a man. It's still talking about unwashed hands. So we see this was all about washing of the hands, but some people try to pretend it was about making all animals food. But this right here proves to you that those words were added in. Those weren't in the original text. So